Yo, so day in the life training for volleyball as well as beginning to stream and building some Lego and trying to improve my social media. All of the above. This is how I start my day. It's 8 a.m. I have milk, bananas, coffee, honey, almonds, and protein powder all in one as like a protein shake. Thought of the day is if you want to actually make it somewhere in life with your dreams, no one is supposed to understand you. I was talking to someone the other day and I was basically like, hey, I don't want to finish my uni degree. I want to drop out and do this. I want to make my own way, right? And it was all about, oh, what if this goes wrong or what if that goes wrong? But what if it works out, you know? What if the thing that you want to do in your life, the one thing that only you can do and that you're really, really passionate about actually works out? Wouldn't you rather take the 1% chance or be successful and have a 1% chance of being successful than the 99% chance that it's not going to happen or the 100% chance it's not going to happen if you don't attempt it, you know? It's like, yes, everyone fails at their businesses, or let's say 90% of people fail at their businesses when they start, but, and they have this mentality. So the argument was like, imagine you have this mentality that you can do anything and that you're super confident and super passionate and super motivated now, but in 5 years' time, you won't be. If you have the mentality that things could go wrong in 5 years' time, so you shouldn't even try, then it's basically guaranteed you're not going to be successful because you're putting this idea out that doesn't exist. Like that hasn't happened. Your failure hasn't happened yet. So you're already thinking about failure before you start. It's going to guarantee that you just fail, right? So when you go and start this dream of yours and go do something that's different to everyone else, no one's going to understand you. Everyone's going to, it's going to be so bizarre that yes, people have attempted it before, but they're not you. They haven't started something, failed a bunch, and then been successful like you will. You know? It's like, yeah, sure, there are 20 people who are similar to you who have failed, but you could be the 21st person. You know, but if you don't try, then it's always going to be guaranteed that you fail right now. So if you have a dream and you're watching this video, like absolutely just go for it. It's not going to be easy. I'm starting today with one subscriber on my Twitch or my Kick or whatever, and almost no followers on my new account. I have followers on my gym account, but it's going to be hard. You know, it's not going to be this thing that just gets spoon fed to you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But if you can accept that, then you're going to be just fine. So when you start, you need to believe and have this vision that well before you've even had any evidence or any proof that you're on the right track or any evidence that what you're doing is going to actually work out, you need to just work on the day to day and have that process of if I just dedicate 4 hours every single day for the next 2 years on this one thing, let's say I want to have 500,000 followers by the end of the year. Imagine I am me with 500,000 followers in December right now. It is April currently. But imagine I'm in December and I'm looking back in the year and I'm thinking, or I'm looking back at what I did to achieve that goal. What would you do? So that's how you should live day to day is if you have a goal in 3 years' time, you want to have X amount of followers or X amount of subscribers or X amount of money. Imagine you are already that person that is capable of doing it, and you're just looking back and doing the work. That's all you need to do. So the answer is literally just do the work with the time that you have now. But you're not going to be able to have that vision if you listen to people who say, what if this certain situation goes wrong in 5 years' time and you lose motivation? It's like, bro, that you're literally speaking in existence that doesn't, or a possibility that isn't real. It hasn't happened. Sure, it might happen and you can prepare for it, but if you're going and chasing your dream, you should already be prepared for failure, because you are going to fail at some point. But that's part of it. It's just, in a way, it's safer to take the harder option and to take the option that has no certainty, but there's a tiny chance that you'll actually hit your goal, than not chasing your dream, and then there's 100% chance that it's going to fail. So you're going to be more miserable if you don't take the chance and you don't go all in. So please, if you're watching this video, you need to just, one, work hard, but two, you need to just listen to your feeling and your gut of what you need to do before you chase your dream. Or if you are trying to chase a dream, you need to listen to your gut. There was a really interesting video. Two people who do this really well are Togi and Kanye. So I was watching the Togi interview, and he for the financial audit, and he was basically saying, that I just go off emotion and I go off good vibes, or I just do what I feel is correct. And he makes, I don't know, $1 million a month. But all of the commenters were people who just don't understand the vision, which is, he was saying if he goes broke tomorrow or loses everything, because he is him, he will get all of his stuff back. And that's exactly how you should live as well. Or it's what Kanye preaches, is like, if you have the self-belief that you can do anything, no amount of obstacles are going to get in your way of what you're going to achieve. So there's that. But then it's also interesting that all the people who are watching that video, like the financial audit, were all in the comments, they just don't understand the vision. They'll just live with this safety net of, if I just save enough money for this, then I'll be happy because I'll have this amount of money to live on each month. You need to think outside the box and just go off instinct and intuition and feeling sometimes. Yes, I agree, save your money. Don't be financially irresponsible. Don't gamble. Yeah, don't gamble. But it's your dream and there is no blueprint for it. So go figure out what you need to do. Go put in the work. You can't be listening to people who have average goals. If somebody is trying to make it to the NBA, you can't just train like everyone who's not trying to make it to the NBA. It's like, it sounds stupid, but it should be so obvious, but it's not to people. It's like if you're trying to jump high in the gym, you're not going to train the same way as a bodybuilder who trains slow and high reps. So figure out what your goal is, and you need to figure out the training that you need to do for it, right? So for me, I'm going to dedicate at least 2 hours of making videos per day for the next year, or until the end of the year, and just see how it goes and look back. Because I know the time is going to pass anyway. If I did uni, the time is going to pass anyway, and I'm just going to have less to show for it. At least with this, and trying to actually do something different, there is a chance that it could go right, you know? So yeah, I think that's what all I had to say. It was just interesting watching the Togi video, because there's two rich people talking to each other, and one was successful because he took a chance, and people love that because he's authentic, and the other took a chance, but it was all calculated chances. I don't know much about the guy, but you can tell from his mentality that he doesn't really understand it. Part of like the vision that you should have and the self-belief that you should have, that if it came down to it, you are the most capable person. But you need to just build yourself up to that, and, have evidence of small victories, and build yourself up to be the person who's capable of doing anything. Everything in my life everything in my life that was good, or that I'm okay at, or that I've built up, didn't start naturally talented. For example, speaking to people or speaking to a crowd of people was like the most difficult thing of all time. But the more you do it, just the more naturally it comes. And then someone who started where I started will look at me now and say, oh, it just becomes easy to this person. But it took 400 sessions of coaching for me to build up to this point and not give a shit what people think. Or with the gym, I started at 50 kgs and now I'm 82 kgs. Like, pretty decent physique for someone who just plays volleyball. But the point is that it's not going to be easy when you start. I have no idea what I'm doing now. I have zero clue on how to stream, on how to make good YouTube content, on how to grow my personal brand. But right now, just the act of starting is already 50% of the battle. Because once you start, then it snowballs. Like once you get going and start putting in work, you figure out what works or not. I could go for a whole year and make no money, but have spent a year grinding and learning and failing, and that would make more of a difference in my mind, or make more of an impact in my life than if I just continued uni. Because I know that with uni, it's not to shit on uni degrees, but with uni, it's 100% guarantee that your product is going to just be the same as everyone else's, because you're just doing the same thing. All you're doing is trying to please the marker and do it exactly how the marker wants you to. With whatever your dreams are, this is the beauty of life, which is that you have free will. The beauty of life is that you're not trying to just do something that's already been set out for you. You get to actively choose what you do in life. So if I wanted to, I don't know, be a football star, you literally can chase that. No one's stopping you. Yes, you have to work. Yes, there's all of these things that you have to do that are in the way. But if you're really, really, really passionate about something, you become lucky because you put in all this work, and the luck just appears because you kept grinding and grinding, and suddenly an opportunity will just open up. So there is no set path in what you want to do. There's no blueprint that you just follow. You have to actively fail a bunch of times before you can succeed. But in my mind, the skills that you get from that are just way better than anything. And I feel like the whole process is what makes it worth it, is because it doesn't come easily, but there's a much greater reward for those who try, or those who actually win. So yes, try. Put your eggs in one basket, but you also need to be okay with losing, which is fine, and not give a shit what people say. Because if as soon as you start caring what people say, then they just have power over you, and you might start second guessing yourself, thinking, "Oh, maybe they're right. Oh, maybe I do need a backup plan, or maybe I do need to think this through more." It's not going to be easy, but if you give it your all in, it's like the idea of burning the boats to escape the island. It brings out a different side of you when there's desperation. If you're really desperate for something and you're really, really, really passionate about it all year round, and you wake up to this one thing and you don't look forward to anything else but doing this one thing, then it's going to be easier for you. Like, it's just going to be easier than studying for an assignment you don't give a shit about. So please go and do that thing that you've been putting off and see how it feels. Just do it for a year. Dedicate yourself to your dream. And I promise you, you're not going to regret if you give 100% of it by the end of the year. Because you're going to be so much better than you were before. But you're not... at the end of the year, you're going to be able to say that I tried. And now you know, even if it fails, even if everything goes bad and you might end up homeless, even if everything goes bad, depending on what your dream is, you're still going to be able to say, at least I tried. It might not be for me, but at least I spent a year doing everything I possibly could. You know? So just believe in yourself, have that delusion, be, you know, like Kanye. Kanye was saying, if you're a fan of my music, you're a fan of yourself, because the music is about believing in yourself. I don't think all of his music is, but it's true in the sense of you literally have this journey that you get to live through. Why wouldn't you want to make the most of it? Like the gift of life, I could die tomorrow or next week, and that's it. That's all I had. You know, wouldn't you rather go out or live every day truly like it's a gift, living it, doing what you love all the time? It's like why I don't listen to negative music, or I try not to listen to sad music, is because wouldn't you rather just choose to be happy and enjoy the time that you have? It's not to say just be hedonistic and do whatever you want, but you can operate at a higher frequency where you're always just in a state where you're just grateful to be alive. I'm every single day it's just a blessing to be alive, which is why I'm doing this. Is because I understand that it's not guaranteed that I'll wake up tomorrow or even get home from the gym today or even just I could choke on an apple and die and that's it. But because I have the gift of life, I know that I need to make the most of the small amount of time that we actually have. There's no guarantee, you know? You're not going to be on your deathbed thinking, oh, I wish I did that uni assignment, or I wish I went to uni and did this one thing. Maybe your dream is being a doctor, and that's different. Please go to uni if your dream is being a doctor. But if you struggle to sit still, and you always need to be, you always have this looming thought of, you'll be sitting in a car, and all you can do is think about your goals, or all you can do is think about this one thing, or for me, I was just itching to play volleyball, and all I wanted to do was play volleyball all the time. And they were so obsessed that I was obsessed with every single little detail. I'd watch all my footage, see every single movement, and make sure that I was the best at volleyball I possibly could be. And now I look back, and I don't regret a single thing because I know I tried my best. It doesn't matter if I went pro or not, or went to college. I actually did my best with the time that I had. And if you can say that about what you do, that's being grateful for the life that you have, is doing your best and being able to have something to show for the work that you put in. Now, it's not to say you shouldn't be grateful for what you have. Like lots of hustle culture is like, if I ditch all my friends and stop speaking to my family, then I'll be mega successful. Don't do that. Please appreciate the people that you have because your relationships, they're not going to be around in 20 years' time. Your life is like this straight line, and this is your life, and all the friends around you just zigzag in and out. They might stop after 2 years of being in your life. So appreciate what you have, please. But at the same time, make the most of your life, dude. You don't have as much time as you think. So since there's such a short amount of time of life, just do that one thing that you can wake up every single day and be excited for, and you can think about all the time and get really obsessed with it. No one big on the internet got there from just kind of wanting it. Or no one ends up really successful from just kind of wanting it. You need to be obsessed, and you need to really like go into the field of anything that you are just super passionate about. It doesn't have to be social media. It doesn't have to be sport or a business or trying to make millions of dollars. Find that one thing you're really passionate about and just dedicate. If you have 16 hours of being awake each day, like as Alex Hormozy would say, don't dedicate 8 hours of it, because if you have 8 hours at work, still have another 8 hours, 4 in the morning, 4 at night. You need to make the most of what you have. So please chase your dreams, because there's nothing actually stopping you if you think about it. Like, there are going to be roadblocks and there are going to be things that make it much more difficult for you, and people aren't going to believe in you, and your parents aren't going to believe in you. And if you're okay with being your own biggest fan and your own biggest believer, then it's for you. If you can't believe in yourself, then just go to do a security uni degree. But I guarantee when you're older, you're going to look back and wish that you had started it, or you wish you had been brave enough to do this one thing. Because even for me, like in school, I wish that I dreamed earlier. I started in grade 10 and ended up pretty jacked by the time I finished school when I was 18. But I still felt like I was late. I still felt like I hadn't done much in life and I had no life experience because I didn't play much sport in school or make the most of the opportunities I had. So use the opportunity while you have the chance, because there's going to be a day where you look back in 20 years' time and you would spend millions of dollars to be back where you are right now so you could start on that goal.